Alright, we got opening face-off coming up against the Sharks. We got Justin, Dave, Jess, Carrie, and Ernest on the ice. Face-off win for the Sharks. Justin going in for the forecheck. Oh, bats the puck out of midair. Pretty good. Gets his pass intercepted. Jess coming in for the pressure forecheck again, strips the puck. Justin is able to handle it, dishes it off to Ernest. Okay, right here. Let's continue watching. I'll circle back to this play and I'll make some comments on it. I got another comment there. And let's continue watching. Let's pause it here. We got a few people changing already. We had Ernest changing for Thomas and Jess and Janice. So let's circle back. Actually, that's good. These are everyone else is changing, so that's been about a minute. Excellent. That's good timing right there. I like that shift times. So circling back to here, this pass right there, I think my first thoughts are notice how there's nobody kind of helping out Ernest if there are 4 pass options, whether it's in the half wall, whether it's in the corner, somewhere along the perimeter. And number 2 to identify is notice how Ernest is coming down and nobody, I would say probably Justin, is going up to cover for him. And to add on to that, you can see how he's a magnet. He's drawing all this attention from the Sharks. It's very easy for at this point for him to, if he dishes it and everyone's drawn to him, now we have tons of open ice to operate with. But because everyone's crowding around the net like this, there's really one option, one real offensive option that Ernest can opt for, and it's going to be firing towards the net. And in this case, we do get a tip chance, but you know, this could easily have gone very poorly. Let's say, you know, it's happened before. Ernest takes a shot, gets blocked, comes back this way, and nobody's covering. So now, realistic scenario, 4 Sharks against 1 defender, Carrie Ann. Not a really good optic right there. So luckily it goes through, but again, you know, we gotta kind of be mindful. If the D man's coming in, someone's got to cover in the offensive zone, and then also try to help carry them out. Help them out with giving them pass options. No, so Carrie Ann's able to keep the puck in, sends it back down low. Ernest is going for the change. That's fine. And then we got some forechecking pressure going on here. The other note I would say, whether perhaps Dave didn't see Ernest, so he felt like he needed a cover. But if we're going to do a forecheck like this, I think if our forwards, so this is kind of good formation. So again, we're trying to force them to one side of the ice, and then Jess is doing a good job blocking this option. Now if Dave is able to block this option, it would be pretty perfect, and that'd be very likely. So if Dave was here, kind of covering this option, and Justin kind of slowed that down, he'd probably be able to swoop in and take that pressure, like force that turnover, and might have gotten another chance there. So those were some comments there. And so that would be the opening shift. All right, I remember this play. So Alex does this excellent job stripping that forecheck, and my hope was there's all this open ice, and I said, Alex, go in, go in. So he should have just turned around and start heading down the ice. Now he opted to not do that, and his second mistake is if he's not going to do that and he's seeing me come down, he needs to lead that pass towards me. And his mistake was I'm up in his face, and instead of leading that pass so that I can skate into it, he passes it this way. And that's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to stick my stick down on the ice and carry it and go down. And so essentially the puck is squirting out this way out of the zone. And there you go, right? Now we're back on the wrong side of the zone from that. So again, if we're trying to always lead the pass in the path of someone skating, so if it's coming this way, try to lead them into it. Unless the spacing is such that, let's say, I would be further away skating towards you, then it makes sense that you would pass and then they skate into it. So there's that. This almost became a very dangerous pizza. Eee. Little reminder. You don't want passes. Holy cow. Ooh. So we got lucky there. Alright, we got a good rush coming up here. A little bit of a force. I think, yeah, maybe this play right here, a little too fixated on getting that puck to Kathy. This one looked pretty juicy coming up from Fee as a trailer. Like Ray's done an excellent job pulling all of these, like at least two defenders, and Kathy rushing the net, pulling that third defender. So we got a lot of sharks coming towards the net, and so that tends to open up the trailer. So little too excited on getting it to Kathy there, perhaps. Oh boy. Luckily there's no breakaway chance there. So this one, turnover, but then big hustle by Justin to get the puck off of that defender, and now Janice has it, and fortunately there is a little bit of an offside going on there. Yes, Justin got bumped off, but at some point it's going to be a bit of a collision course, because you can see here so the idea I can understand, Justin's ahead of the play, and yes, if Janice is able to zip a pass up to Justin, maybe a possible breakaway. You would probably, Justin would definitely need to be like, Janice, 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 to get hopes of getting that pass, but realistically, probably not. This defender is on you at this point. So realistically, if a pass comes up, probably going to get knocked off. Now, once that is not going to happen, I think there was a mistake where, you know, Janice is coming up, and obviously all the defenders are coming up, and so you're still continuing on this path towards this way, and eventually it's going to be a collision course. Hence, like, let's say this defender does not run into you, eventually you're just going to run into Janice. So, and we're really not taking advantage of all this open ice on this side. So, some thoughts there, but good hustle. Is that Justin? Why don't you go for a change? Okay. Well, let's continue watching this. Anyways. Okay, so you do realize it there. Alright, so after reviewing the tape, Justin was on the ice for about 2 minutes 15. So just a little bit longer. I think that was just added with that 18, 20, like that 20 seconds of extra time on the ice there after that face-off. It's a little bit long, but you kind of figured it out fairly quickly. Maybe on the people on the bench to kind of call them off too. Yeah, I think the past few games we've been better on ice times. So now I'm gonna, if I see anyone going past 2 minutes, I'll call them out. So no more 3 minutes, it looks like. No more, we're getting less and less 2.5 minutes. So now let's break the 2 minute habit. So I thought this was funny. Notice how Alex is on the right hand side of the ice, and almost for the entirety of this shift he'll be on the right side of the ice, almost never opting to move back to the left. So let's kind of skip ahead. Right side of the ice, right side of the ice, right side of the ice. Never switching back to the left, even when we're going back on defense. Still, at most, he's in the middle. So, I thought that was pretty silly. Play right here. I think I was hoping for a rebound or a 5-hole from B. Unfortunately, I do not have the skills of Dave to hit it 5-hole. I need to take some lessons from him. Oh no, Alex, why are you staying on? Is it messed up from Justin? Okay, hold on. How long have you been on? So about a minute. But, you know, we gotta identify Ray and Fion's on. Like, even though the shift was, like, maybe it would be 40 seconds for you and a minute for the rest of your line mates. Definitely gotta identify this, so because now Kathy is not able to play with her line mates. So yeah, definitely a chain effect we can observe right here. We got our two culprits, Justin and Alex. All right, I noticed something on, I think this breakout, yeah, right here. So Fee's coming up, and Ray does go up. Doesn't see that the pass is going to be able to get there. That's fine, but he really like drops really far back. It's not a problem to drop back. Maybe it is to drop back this, like this is pretty far. But at some point, like you need to, I think what you could have opted to do is continue up, and then maybe Kathy can go a little bit wider as well. And then you could probably even just stop at the blue line and then go in together rather than drop it back so far. Like you can just kind of, as she passes, then you go in and kind of do what you did. Like, you're still trailing her. I think what I would have probably suggested is you can trail her from the boards, and then you can yell at her, be like, hey, drop pass, drop pass. And as Fee's is bringing out everyone, if she drops it to you, you know, a lot of options open up, and where you can move here, you can pass it up, skate up, drive the net yourself, stuff like that. And you're going to be closer, you're going to be in a better prime position to help out. Now, yeah, again, looks like we're same thing with how Ray played it on that their first shift. We're getting a little too excited with seeing Kathy at the front of the net, even though we got a huge army of sharks to battle through. So I think we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves with forcing these passes through. And right there, you can see it's a turnover. I'll just leave it like that. We'll maybe talk about this more later on in the game, kind of see how often this happens. Alright, so I thought this was hilarious. So Justin starts on the left side, and you know, that's great, much better than what Alex was doing, but eventually he's just he gravitates toward the right side. It's always the right side. We know your favorite position's the right wing, and I guess Alex also loves his right wing, and so they both always gravitates towards the right side. I don't know, like some bad habits, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one thing to have a favorite position. Yeah, you've got the right wing and all that, but you know, I think it has to be regardless of position. If you can put it in your mind that you're always looking for what's the open space on the ice. What is the open space? It doesn't matter what position you are. You gotta look for open space on the ice. And the open space on the ice is clearly not on the right side. It's clearly not. You already got a player there. This is the open space. This is the open space. And now Jess has it. We're just crowding the area. Why are we not, you know, it's another way, like it's another thing if Justin started off here and cuts across and then that opens up. It's not really entirely the same thing if Justin comes this way, is literally standing next to you holding hands, and then you go up that way. You end up in the same spot, but the effect is very different. And as we continue, right, this is clearly not the open space, whereas you can see on this side it's the open space. And you know, I am harping on Justin the most, clearly, but I would say Dave also needs to kind of identify, hey, this is the open space, I should probably start getting over there as well. Perhaps it's the same kind of issue with Ray. We're trailing back quite far, rather than getting to where we could maybe assist the most. So some thoughts there, and also it's quite funny watching Alex and Justin gravitating towards the right hand side of the ice a lot. I think it's a very common theme throughout this whole game. Yeah, man, the red tapes are putting you guys to shame. They're able to keep on their side, and they switch back and forth all the time. Why is our intermediates not able to do this? Alright, we got a dangerous chance coming up right here. Big pass across, and defensive coverage is really the backdoor problem, and that would probably be on Dave. So number 2 sneaking in backdoor. Dave's not identifying, hey, who's the dangerous person? It's caught a little puck watching here. Everyone else, I say, is okay-ish. Like Thomas is on this player. Dave has picked up that high forward, so Dave No is not picking up that back door. I think Jess is unattached. Yeah, everyone else is pretty good. So able to sneak out behind. Luckily, they fanned on it. So no goal there, but pretty dangerous chance. We can identify what was the problem there. That's okay. It's a mistake. Just oh geez. Puck right here. Fanned on it. Just fanned on it. Oh jeez. Big save by Cliff. One timer fanned on it. Defensive coverage. Okay. Interception. So just a small mistake there. Missed coverage. And it ended up being kind of scrambly. And then the other one was just a fanned kind of shot / pass. That's okay. It is what it is. So, but end result, Sharks get a couple dangerous chances. So pass from Dave. Big deke by Justin coming down to split that D. Good defensive pressure by the Sharks there, and he gets a good chance off. And now we got more proof that Justin's capable of skating in the puck rather than always dishing it off and parking in front of the net. So we got proof Justin's able to do this. So watch out, Justin. I'm going to be picking on you more this review. All right, so right here, Janice gets the puck and opts to shoot it. I've told her, if you get the puck in the slot, oftentimes not a bad idea to shoot it. And then part 2 is we say, whoever has the puck, it's your choice. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. If you want to pass it, you can pass it. If you want to do this, you do that. Totally up to you. Because she was asking, should I have done this? Should I have done that? What should I like? And we said, person with the puck is the one that ultimately makes the decision. We're going to call you the conductor, essentially. It's up to everyone else to accommodate the person with the puck. So whether Ernest gets ready and he's open, and it's his job that says, hey, I'm open. Janice, if you pass it to me, I could totally take the puck and shoot it. If you shoot it, totally fine. And it's up to us to read what is she doing, and then based on those decisions, we're either helping her out by getting open to receive the passes, or getting to a spot where we can try to pull the defenders off of her and dig pucks or shoot rebounds. So in this case, she opts to shoot it. Perfectly fine. It gets blocked, and so then we react off of that. I think Ernest also shoots it, gets blocked. Yeah. We make the joke all the time that all of Ernest's shots gets blocked. And then back the other way. I think you're good for 1 each game. Alright, so there was a rush here and I went for a change. And I'm trying to do a change on the fly. And Janice has also identified, hey, let's go for a change, and we're keeping possession, so that's perfect. I think about here it's been about a minute 15, and Alex is staying on. I think at this point he should have identified, oh wait, Ray's on the ice, I gotta go for a change. In terms of shift time, he's not on for too long at this moment. But if we can kind of identify and work on changing without a whistle, that's certainly something we can all work better at. But just Alex does a pretty good play right here. Gets the puck, backhand passes to Fee. Big chance right there. Now, yeah, I don't think Alex, you're on about 15 seconds. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. I'd say the first one that I caught you off, where you stayed on after the whistle, was not the greatest in terms of staying together with line, because we had a whistle. That was definitely at the time to kind of identify, hey, we got to go for a change together. This one's more on the fly. And if we're able to, it's just something that we can improve upon. If we can improve upon identifying your lions are going for a change on the fly while we're keeping possession, it's going to be fantastic for the entire team, rather than waiting for a whistle. So just a skill that we can all work on. So this one, Relentless, the forechecking pressure by Kathy. Excellent. Able to strip the puck off. Now, I don't like the support that your line mates are giving you at that forecheck, but Dave is able to keep it in, and we're able to recover. So I'll go back and touch upon it. Let's watch this whole kind of play unfold. For the most part, good. Actually, got the good triangles are forming up quite nicely. So let's touch upon what I didn't like. So Kathy's going barreling down into those corners, does an excellent job. And we've kind of said before, if we're going to do that forecheck, there's two things. We're going to need hard work at this point. And Kathy's doing the hardest work is getting that puck off of the defender. And if she's not able to do it, what we should have identified right now, immediately, is her line mates are shutting off all other options. So Fionn should have been cutting off this D immediately. So whether she's getting in front, behind the net, somewhere in this area, and Ray's got to be hustling over here and shutting off those boards. So if Kathy was not able to get that puck, right? If she's not able to get that puck, any pass options up here, Ray's got to cut that off. So boom, cuts over here, cuts off anything flying up those boards, and then Fee's got to shut off either this or in that middle of the ice. So they're a little they're lagging a little bit, and so we're not able to, it's just not a lot of support. Now fortunately, the way it kind of slides out like this, it ends up working in our favor that Ray was kind of slow, and he's able to knock it back down low. And then Dave does an excellent job holding that blue line right here. This is probably the biggest play of keep holding on to this offensive position. Now, right here, it's good. Ray and Kathy are excellent doing the board play, helping each other here, and then forming up that triangle with Fee in the middle. So this part, the remainder of this is pretty good. Again, I think we're getting too optimistic. A lot of sharks right here, and let's continue watching, and I'll kind of touch upon that again. Right, Ray tried to force it to Kathy, getting a little optimistic, but the formation is pretty good. So let's talk about we're forming this triangle, moving the puck around, and that's good. And what is the whole purpose of this? And even let's go back to cycling. We don't do a lot of it, but what is the whole point? The whole point of cycling is trying to create holes in the defense and bringing players towards them. And by creating the puck movement, whether it's going back around, moving it with Kathy, that we're trying to create holes. And if you don't see a really clear opening, we should go back to cycling. So if we're saying, oh my god, like Fiona is actually pretty well covered, maybe we have a chance of getting that one-timer off, maybe. But realistically, probably not. Then Ray should be, carrying the puck around, working the perimeter, passing the puck around. And the goal is you're trying to be a magnet. You're trying to bring defenders towards you. And when you bring defenders towards you, that's where holes start to open up. And then you feed after, like, what is the end result? Like, what is the end goal? We're trying to work the perimeter on the outside, and eventually we're trying to feed pucks towards the middle, and then which pucks end up going towards the net. And so how the bodies will end up, what is the end result is when the puck starts moving in, bodies start moving in, and we all end up collapsing towards the net where pucks come in. But you need to create holes rather than forcing it so that you can get clean looks. So that's kind of what the purpose is, and maybe that'll add some clarity on why you do that rather than throwing pucks in, forcing it. So we've seen a couple times, 3 times now, where we're just getting a little optimistic. We're throwing pucks to where there's a lot of sharks, and so it ends up in a turnover, and then we're kind of back the other way. Alright, so this shift in the second period, there's quite a few memorable things when I saw on the bench. And I'll kind of point them out. I really liked a lot of it. So, positioning, excellent. Big triangles forming, boom, boom, boom. And then we've kind of talked about Ernest being that weak side D. He has the freedom to be aggressive. Because he's not the one that needs to hold down the fort along the boards. And so right here, Jess tries to pass to Justin, didn't quite get there, gets it to Ernest, and he gets a shot on. I think it was slightly tipped, definitely wide of the net, but didn't quite pan out. And then Jess was able to gather the puck, and she's coming up the circle, and this was probably one of my favorites. She follows the circle, she's a left-handed shot, sets up on her forehand. She's basically walking that circle and coming down to shoot. Perfect. We've kind of talked about if we can create movement around that circle, and it's anyone on the half wall, they have options. They can go skate up this way, they can skate down that way, they can come down to the middle and then take a shot themselves. This is a perfect demonstration. And to add on top of that, she's a left-handed shot, so she is on her strong side wing and walking the circle, and it ends up being in a pretty good chance right there. In the past, we've seen mostly on the off wing side, so right-handed shot coming down the circle, and true, it's an easier setup, but Jess does an excellent job right here. So I think the more of us, if we were able to add that to in our repertoire, is certainly dangerous, and I would say Justin could definitely add that to his repertoire. Now, another thing I liked was how Ernest identified, hey, I can probably sneak down this back door. Look at all this open ice. And I like how he sneaks down. And I think this was a pretty good opportunity, maybe a little bit earlier, right here. I think you identified at the same time, and you're able to sneak down further into the zone. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think you stopped up a bit early. It's okay. I like it being conservative. It's 0-0, but I think you got the right ideas. A big shot block there. I think the chances are there, and if only, Ernest, you're able to settle it down a little bit more and look for the lane rather than just trying to brute force it, you're gonna be way more effective. Something to work on, you know, even just, it doesn't have to be a fake shot. You can just settle it down, move left, move right. And I think you're gonna be much more effective rather than hitting people and getting it shot blocked, because thankfully Dave is on the case and saw that block. But yeah, you know, it's certainly a common theme. You're shooting a lot, which is a good thing, but a lot of them are getting blocked, which is not a good thing. But a lot of good things we saw just in that shift right there. Here's another one. A lot of example of forced passes right now. No reason to. So Alex settles it down, and yes, right now I am driving towards the net with my stick ready. But we can see right here, 1, 2, 3 sharks, 4th shark coming in, and just by the action of driving the net, create space for Alex right here. Boom, we got a magnet. All these sharks their attention is focused on me, which means all of this is open space for Alex to operate. He could have done exactly what Justin, walk that circle, boom, fire a shot. He could have go back down low. He could do anything. It's up to him. We've said he's the conductor. We're going to be reading off of him. And right here, you did not need to force that pass through. You totally had some other plays. And again, forced pass, what does that end up resulting in? Turnover, and our offensive time is now gone. So yeah, I think the theme of this week is don't force those passes. This one, I feel bad for this guy. All I wanted to do was go in, take a shot on net, kind of force him to settle it down, and then go for a change. Unfortunately, I ended up hitting this guy right in his hand. Ooh, that's got a sting. So yeah. All right, this kind of neutral zone reset is my favorite. So Ray passes it off to Ernest, which is great. I think at this point, Ray, you should be starting to build up speed up the middle. But what I really liked was how Theon is coming back. We've talked about facing the defender, and then this allows for boop, pass, and circle back up. Makes your life so much easier, and you're able to carry speed, which means you have speed coming into the zone. Granted, maybe if Fionn was not red tape, this guy would have put some pressure onto her, but you know, it remains the same. The concepts all remain the same, getting open, and it's easier to receive the pass facing forward. Now, if you're able to backwards pivot, that'll kind of create a next level layer to it, but we're trying to keep it simple, keep the basics, and this will kind of make life easier for everyone. Now here, right here, excellent. I like the good lead pass behind the defender rather than through the defender, which gives Kathy the opportunity right there, and she throws a backhand pass. Maybe an argument that it's a little bit of force, but the bounces were a little bit fortunate here because it went, I think it went over the goalie stick, hit this guy's skate, hit his other skate, and he'll watch it trickle right in front of the goal line. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but Fionn, I think it looks like she hits the puck but hits the post. Yeah, so very close. Let's kind of watch it one more time without me pausing. So leads the puck, backhand, hits skate, then post. And then Ernest, salivating at this opportunity to rip the shot, hits a guy in the chest and back the other way. Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Ernest is absolutely ripping shots. This is probably his seventh shot already. It's not even like halfway through the second period. I thought this was some silliness again. Justin coming all the way to his favorite spot on the right hand side. Cracks me up. And then not able to get the puck, but goes in on the forecheck. Huh? Wait, what? Why did you do that? Ah, okay. You, was that on purpose? Anyways, good forechecking pressure right here. Now Dave goes in, closes off the boards. Excellent. And concepts are still remaining the same. We're trying to force them onto cutting that ice. We're trying to force them onto one side, and then if we're able to close off all the options, then it makes good pressure. So Janice is coming across, so forces him to rethink things, and then Dave's able to close them off and cancel. Oh, excellent. Big chance. Oh my god, that could have been 5-hole Dave right there. The forechecking pressure is immense. Oh my god, big save. The shoving match. Let's see what happened here. So Justin's net front, and I mean, you're in the crease and he's trying to block you from jamming at the goalie. Yeah, what's going on here? Justin saying, hey man, do you ever try this beard grooming kit that I have? I think your beard would be just as luscious and plump as mine. Just looks like a little bit of shoving match right there. I mean, you can't really fault the Sharks guy there. You're in the crease, so just wants to put some separation between you and his goalie. Don't fault them there. And then so they wanted to go cage to cage and kiss. But big chance right there. Good forechecking pressure by Dave, and could have been struck a first goal on the 5-hole, but fortunately for the Sharks, the goalie makes the save. So something I wanted to identify right here. I remember this was kind of stupid, the struggles of a long stick, but that's not what I wanted to point out. And what I wanted to point out was something good that Alex did. And so first thing is we got pressure right now, and we've kind of said, I've said before, if you see your teammate with their back turned, like they're facing the boards, this is really the time to try to help them out and support them on the board. So Alex does a good job getting onto that side, and I think I would have preferred Janice, rather than staying in the slot here, is you kind of sneak over onto this half wall here. Probably just space yourself right in front of number 13. So rather than beside her, you're going to kind of be like if she's here, you'll be kind of right here. And that'll kind of give the opportunities to give a pass off, and then we'll work some small passing around. Now, I'm trying to still protect the puck, and I'm looking up, and I see, yeah, there's not really a pass option here. Alternatively, for Janice, if you ever see, like right here, how 13 is right here, and this is one option, but another option is go for where there's open space, and then use this circle as kind of that guiding post. So if ice is open here along the circle, then choose to be anywhere along this circle is a good like default option that you can opt to. So rather than being here, you just scoot over to in this area. Okay. Now, the other thing with Alex is how he goes from there and he sneaks around to the front side of the net, which allows for, boom, this bounce pass, and he's now able to gather it. So excellent job, and we're able to keep the puck low, and we're cycling. We're moving the puck from right to left, and we're gathering. We're pulling all these defenders from right to left, and now holes are going to start opening up. Now, if Alex is able to get a pass here, this can open up for a nice shot right here if he was able to get it earlier. And he can also opt to get it to Carrie-Anne, get it to Ernest. It's his choice, right? He has the puck, he's the conductor, he has choice. He can even skate it out to the middle and shoot it himself. His choice. So right here, he opts to send it back. Fine, that's not a bad option. The only, I think, mistake is if he could have lead the pass a little bit more so that this defender could not get it. That would probably be best. Like so, if he's able to add maybe a little bit more muscle, get it closer to the boards, then we can work with that. Unfortunately, just got it a little bit closer to the defender and he's able to poke check it. But I think the idea was there, and that's good. So good elements here. We're getting open for to be able to pass around, and then immediately you can see how from here there's so much defensive pressure, and then just sending it back across to Alex, where he does a good job being open to receive that. Goes from boom, now we have so much space. You can see, oh my god, all this space Alex is now able to work with. It didn't work out in this case, but it kind of puts home the point. We got Ray's making up the moves. Oh my god, between the legs, stops up, then forces a pass there. Ah, damn it, Ray. Now, I think Fionn maybe made a mistake here. So Kathy goes to front of the net, perfectly fine. But Fionn is also gravitating towards her, so they're gonna be forming together into one cohesive unit. They're doing some Super Saiyan fusion, I think if either she slows down and then kind of ends up kind of being in this area would maybe help Ray, giving an option to her. But you know, maybe Ray only has eyes for Kathy. So and you know, if Ray, like, I think part 2 is if Ray holds onto this puck for a little bit longer, I would have said Kathy should get over here, but he doesn't. You know, he forces it and it gets a turn up. So awesome move, crazy deke, just force and then turnover, right? So now that's 4 or 5 examples. Forcing a pass ends up in a turnover. But you know, it looks really promising. We're going in, forming up these triangles. Just we force a pass and then turnover. All right, this play coming up is pretty funny. So Thomas clears it, and then Nathan steps on the puck, falls over. Kathy comes in for that breakaway chance, takes a shot from distance, from the circle. It's okay. I don't mind that. It's yeah, I don't mind it. Maybe we you know, in hindsight, 2020, maybe there's an opportunity to get to Fionn, but that's fine. Shot from there is okay, and it looked kind of open. Let's rewind, take a pause. Looks like that short side's open. Yeah, I don't mind that play. All right, this one I'm Dave makes all these great moves. Headman passes up to Justin, and so irritating. There's so much space for Justin to skate up with. So much space, and he sends it back to Dave, and you can see like there's pressure on him. There's a guy in front of him. There's another defender here. Sets him up. Like, even if Dave gets the puck, sets him up for failure, versus we know, Justin, you can skate with the puck. We saw that footage. Why don't you skate with it? Why don't you skate with it? Why don't you skate with it? Killing me here. And just to put further my example, Justin makes this sick move. Boom, forehand to his backhand. Gets stopped up with 3 defenders, but you know, you add more of that element to your game, Justin. Skating with the puck, I think you're going to be quite a dangerous individual. I just need you to start doing that. Here is a excellent example of triangle formation with a shot on net. Tried to be like Dave and shoot a 5-hole. Didn't quite work out for me. I think I still need to take lessons from Dave. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, I think a comment, Janice on the bench, she said, oh, these passes, they feel really close to, we feel really close together. And we said, that's perfect. Being close to, like, we're not super close. We're not making out with each other. We're not holding hands. There's still a good amount of distance. That's probably 3/4 strides, forward strides, right? It's just enough to create separations, like where number 13 probably not going to have enough time to chase down Alex, and then there's this player that needs to go up to Alex. So it's close, but far enough. And then because we're close, passes are way easier to make. It's not as hard to miss, and you don't need to work on, like, you don't need a lot of power, and so it ends up being pretty simple. We're able to take quick short passes in the offensive zone, and that's really one of the end goals we're trying to make, and then we result in a pretty good chance here. So that's an explanation on closeness of passing. So got a rush right here. Ernest is trying to drive him wide, ends up going around him. That's okay. He did make it difficult for him, and this player had a good chance and falls over. So what can we say that Ernest could perhaps work on? Let's see. So I think you start the retreat a little too early. So the problem with that is it's hard for you to build enough speed going backwards. So you're a little bit, like, let's say 58's going 100%. It looks like you're probably going 30% of what you need to match. And so you end up, you know, he ends up catching you offside, like flat-footed a little bit. Now, learning from Andrew, let's say about this point, you want to switch to forward, and you're surfing that wave in that way. So you kind of turn around a little bit late, and so he's able to push you. Now, if you're able to turn a little bit earlier, you should be able to have body position, and then you can surf him onto the drive, like keep him on the outside of the net, and he won't be able to cut across. So that's something to work on. Alright, we're gonna see the play leading up to our first goal for. In general, I think it was messy, and you guys would probably agree with it, but we get some fortunate bounces, and it ends up in a goal. So Kathy has some tenacity to her that really puts the hard work to get this goal. But let's kind of go through some of this. So number one, Kathy gets stopped up. That's fine. That's fine. Ray takes it in right here. At the moment Ray has passed that blue line, we need hustle. We need hustle getting into the zone. So Fion's still staying here, watching, and then Kathy's still not entering the zone yet. The puck has passed the blue line. We need to get in there. And the main purpose of that is you need to pull all these defenders away from Ray. That's your job. You need to get these guys as far away from Ray as possible. And because you don't, it allows this player to start sneaking up onto him, and these guys are really closing off that space. And so it ends up being that what can Ray do? He ends up just firing it on the net. Low percentage chance, probably not going to be a goal, right? But what can he do? There's no, like, he doesn't have any support with him. There's nobody in front of the net. So probably his last and maybe possibly an okay option is rimming it all the way around and then have either Fionn get it, or Thomas pinches in and takes the puck, and that will relieve the pressure off of Ray and will keep possession. But okay, so he shoots the puck, rebound up into the glass behind the net or something, and then what I think we should have done is maybe keep possession, but Fionn throws a forced pass. Now this is probably the 7th or 8th forced pass, and we get a little lucky here. It bounces off a stick, bounces off a skate, bounces off the goalie's stick, and it fortunately gets to Kathy all the way on the other side, and she is able to get a shot. And the goalie's not able to handle it. It bounces down. She's hustling in, gets a shot, hits him on the left pad, bounces out to Fionn, and then she's able to just tap it in. It's not a pretty goal, but it's a goal. We don't ask how, we ask how many, and that is 1 goal for the Greenhorns. But it kind of remains the same. If we had, what could we improve upon? I think number 1 is when Ray has set the zone, we need to help him out. We gotta pull all these defenders away from him. And then number 2, in this case, the force pass worked. The bounces were very lucky. I think we can all agree upon that. It hit us. It went up, hit this guy's stick, hit this guy's skate, hit this guy's skate, hit the goalie's stick, and back out. I mean, that's as fortunate of a bounce as it gets. And then it hits the goalie, and it bounces down. Nobody's able to gather it, and then Kathy does the hard work, hits the, jams away at it, and it bounces out to Fee. Now, is there a question of, is it too much? No, I think that's good. Like, the puck is obviously loose. What would be a bad thing is if, let's say it's by the pad and then Kathy comes jumping in, dive, like full force dive and jamming it away at the goalie, then that's not a good thing. We don't want to be like spearing the goalie with your sticks. But I think this was a fair play, and it ends up being our first goal. So greasy goals, sometimes we need those greasy goals. All right, now we're going to witness the goal right after Kathy, Ray, and Fionn's line. And here comes Dave, Justin, and Jess. Excellent foretracking pressure by Dave, and then excellent follow-up by Jess right there. Boom, forces the turnover. Amazing. And what's even sick, oh my god, that's pretty. So wraps around, backhand pass, backhand shot. Oh my god, that one is actually quite nice. And we might argue, hey, is this a forced pass? No, it is certainly not a forced pass. Why is this not a forced pass? Because there's no sharks in the slot. There are no sharks on the slot. And so clean pass, boom, backhand shot on the far side. Unfortunately, I cannot call him 5-hole Dave this time, so he will now be far side Dave. So yeah, that was a sick pass by Jess. Hold on, we're gonna watch this one time. The spinorama, backhand. Oh my god, that was a pretty nice goal, and it was like good hard work with that forechecking too. Yeah, it's a big contrast. I was just roasting the crap out of Fionn, Kathy, and Ray's line, and then here I am just complimenting. Alright, now after that, we got our third goal coming up. So, Justin carrying up, little cheeky pass up to Jess. and Jess gets the puck stripped off of her. Or no, she does a backhand pass to Justin, couldn't quite do it. And then big battle here with the red tape, Justin with red tape. And I don't know if it was a stick lift or... But yeah, nonetheless, he gets the puck, skates it in, snipes it short side, and scores. And at this point, they weren't happy with Justin because of the little pushing match. I don't know who, but I think they weren't happy. It looked, visually, it looks like you took it off of the red stick, but they didn't call a penalty, so you play until there's a whistle. And Justin scores, raises his hands up. He probably says, "Do you like that goal? Suck it." Look at this guy. He has his hands out. He's like, "What the fuck, man?" Justin goes, takes a drink from the goalie's water bottle. He's like, "Yeah, suck it. How do you like them apples?" And so there he gets his moniker of the VHL villain. So that was like literally not even 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and we scored 3 in a row. Crazy stuff. And now we're up 3-0. So coming up right here, I like it. There's the beginnings of a cycle. So Ray carries it up, and I think Kathy calls for it. The only thing is she stops up and turns around. I don't mind that. Actually, I like that quite a bit. Passes it over Fee. She gets open. I don't know what happened. Probably some, the ice along the boards is sometimes kind of stupid and it has these weird bumps and it bounces away. And I think they end up knocking it out of the zone. But another thing you can definitely try, Kathy, is when Ray sends it down low, you skate with it. And then you're right-handed, so you're going to be able to protect the puck. And then if Ray comes back down low, and then you'd repeat the same thing, and you activate that little spin cycle there. That's totally an option. What you did here is not wrong. I don't mind it at all. And you can see how right here, because Ray starts moving out this way, it pulls 75 with him. And so that's how you're going to get space. Boom, right here. You see how that space opens up. So if Kathy, you're able to, if you continue skating, some holes will start to open up right there, and maybe not necessarily Ray goes back down there. He might float out to here, and then Fionn comes down. And so that's the start of his cycle. So we're building towards it, which is good to see. Maybe in the coming weeks, we'll see more of these cycles. And then going back to what I said earlier, what is the whole point of the cycle? It's just setting up. We're trying to create holes, and then eventually we're going to be funneling pucks to the slot and in towards the net without forcing passes. All right, there's play right here. There's a good breakup, and right here it's a 2-on-0, ends up being a 2-on-1, and it gets broken up eventually. And my thinking as to why this gets broken up is we're not creating a lot of it's just straight line. The whole movement is straight line, and you guys are literally next to each other. So right here, you can see how close they are. Fionn's a left-handed shooter. Kathy's a right-handed shooter. If they both brought it to their forehands, their sticks would be crossing paths with each other. So something we could think about, and the next part is they're literally going in a straight line. And for the goalie, that's a pretty easy play to probably save. You're literally right next to each other. And when you're on the forehand, your sticks are going to be in the same spot. What we can think about is adding a little bit of some layers to this, whether that means you move out a little bit, so you're just swinging out wider. Kathy can opt to slow down and then swing out this way, so she's on her forehand, and then Fionn curries out this way, crisscrossing with each other. But the main element is trying to just widen yourselves out, so you're trying to bring the goalie out towards you. And then if you pass across, then he needs to move further away across. And if he moves, you swing it back across. And you're just trying to create movement on the defender. And if there's anyone chasing you down, their positioning, they like just standing in one spot, Nathan's able to shut down the both of you guys because you guys were so close to each other. So those are my thoughts on this play, but otherwise, you know, the defensive pressure was excellent. That's Ernest's like 11th shot of the game, right into the guy's 5-hole. Goalie makes a save, but yeah, I have not been recording every Ernest shot, but it's been a lot for sure. But yeah, it's good to see him shooting a lot. Eventually something will go in. Alright, if I remember correctly, this shift coming up was just Thomas's turn to start shooting. Dave makes a pretty slick move, passes it to Thomas here. Boom! One-timer, block shot. And Dave can't score. Justin can't score. Pass it. Boom! Block shot again by Thomas. So he rings it back around. I think he has a couple more. Carrie-Ann gets the puck. Passes it to Justin. One more. Boom! One-timer misses the net. Sends it over to Jess. Does Thomas get another one? I felt like he did. No. Okay, it's just the 3 shots, but all one-timers. Yeah, our D, we're shooting a lot this game. Alright, we got another example of a kind of corner semi 2-person cycle setup one more time. So Alex sends it down low, and we can see just by Alex driving the net, he's able to pull this defender with him, and it creates up a lot of space to work with. Now, one comment first before I go any further. Dave, I'd like to prefer you seeing over here. Remember, strong side, we want to shut down the fort and have the weak side defender be the one that comes down. Now, before continuing on with Alex pulling the defender, it's up to him. He can opt to skate back over here, and when passed down, we can do that whole cycle all over again. So he gets the puck, he can skate it up, and then I'll come down and pull this defender until holes start to open up. At this point, there is a hole. I can see the hole right down the middle, and then now Nathan starts to switch to me, and then I see Alex is open, and then he passes it to their defender. Now, one of the comments I told Alex on the bench, one of the things, he's a right-handed shooter on the right-hand side of the ice. And what he can definitely opt to do, being like that, is because he's on this forehand, he can swing around and just try to jam it 5-hole on the goalie. And if you can see this goalie, he's still standing up, huge 5-hole. Definitely could have just slammed it home, and Alex could have scored a goal. Instead, he bumps it to the defender. Don't know why, but that is where we are at. Now, one thing for Janice, again, where she's in the slot, and obviously she's just absolutely getting mugged by all these players. And again, right here, if you can just opt to, you can almost kind of draw it like a little diamond. This whole area tends to be where people leave you the most alone, whereas the slot area tends to be where people cover you the most. So just sneaking over here will tend to be a lot easier. And in the one place I find that people tend to really forget about you is this top corner of the circle. It's a little further away from the net, but generally people don't like defending. Like, it's awkward for the defenders to get to you, and if you're there, it's generally easier to get the puck without you getting stick lifted to oblivion like this. You can see right here, boom, stick lift, stick lift, stick lift. Right, it's a pain in the ass to deal with for sure. But yeah. And right here, the red tape is going on a breakaway. I said, hey, Cliff hasn't had enough work this game. Why don't we make life a little bit more difficult for him? He needs to earn his shutout. So that's one breakaway chance. And I think let's just skip ahead to see some more chances. I do recall him having to make quite a few saves. Was there any more before then? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so let's skip ahead to where the action is. Boom, right here. Here comes a shot. Shot block. Shot in. Oh, backdoor save by Cliff. People tending to forget about those backdoor. Everyone's just gravitating. Is it because it's the final moments of the game that we all are caught puck watching and then going there towards like it's a black hole? I don't know. It seems like we all forget our defensive positioning basics in the last moments of the game. Was there more? I felt like there was more. Big deke right there. Boom, shot. Is there another shot? Boom, shot. So all low shots. Cliff was able to make them all up. We thought he was snoozing back there, so needed to wake him up a little bit. Game ends with 3-0 for the Greenhorns. And one final comment. We did have a last shift that lasted about 2.5 minutes by the Kathy Ray Fion line. I'll give you guys a little bit of a pass just because of the longer shifts we had earlier in the first period, and you guys started third, so you can finish off the game with that. So yeah, I don't think I caught much other over 2-minute shifts, but yeah, let's try to break those habits. We caught a couple, and otherwise, yeah, good game. 3-0 shutout against the Sharks.